UFC Fight Night Israel Adesanya versus joepyfer just took place, and I'm going to give you my full reaction to the full fight card, so let's get into it. First fight of the night, we had Alexa versus Bruna Brazil. Now, I picked Alexa Thainara to win, and she won pretty handedly, and she was able to win with everything. She mixed up everything, all the tools. Primarily her wrestling, she was able to take down Bruna Brazil, pretty often. And I mean, that's basically what really got her the win, because Bruna Brazil was expecting a striking fest, a striking, bout. But Alexa Thainara, had a smart game plan, and she knew she was going to bring in the wrestling. And that's exactly what she did whenever the fight got a little too close or a little too dangerous on the feet. Alexa would take down Bruna Brazil, kind of hold her down, honestly. Really didn't land anything of significance. And she did that to keep Bruna Brazil kind of guessing what Thainara's next move was going to be. So good on Alexa Thainara to win. And yeah, I mean, she's a pretty big prospect in the women's strawweight division, so we'll see where she goes. I feel like she should fight someone in the top 15 next, because she's kind of had these like easy fights. So I'd like her. I'd like her to fight someone in the top 15 and see where she goes. Next up, in a fight that a lot of people have controversy, and I have the scorecards. I'll show them to you guys in a little bit. But we have Ricky Simón versus Adrian Yanez. Now, I picked Ricky Simón to win the fight, and the fight ended up being a draw. I do have the scorecards up, so I'll show them to you after I kind of, give my take on the fight. But yeah, let's get into it. So, round one, very, very close round, in my opinion. That fight could have been a swing, or that fight was a swing round. Both guys landed pretty much the same. Not a lot of damage was taken from both guys in round one. Now, in my opinion, I do think that Adrian Yanez was able to get round one just because he had more pressure on Ricky Simón. And then come round two's tricky, man. So I had to watch the fight twice. And round two, originally, I gave round two to Ricky Simón. But I kept on thinking, and I rewatched the fight again. And at the end of the day, the rules say it's damage-based striking, right? Yeah, in round two, Ricky Simón was able to hold Adrian Yanez down for about 3 minutes and a half, maybe 4 minutes, something like that, right? So he did hold Yanez down, but he really didn't do much with that. He was just kind of just holding him there. And Adrian Yanez, pieced him up, did some damage on the feet in that round, in round two. So because of that, after the whole rewatching, after kind of thinking and making sure, I did give round two to Yanez as well. But, I had the privilege, I had the opportunity to watch the fight, basically three times, once live and two back to back. I'm just giving you what I thought at the moment, right? These judges, they're kind of judging on the spot, live. So I can see why they might have given round two, or I mean, why they did give round two to Simón. So there's that. And then obviously round three, no debate. Adrian Yanez won that round, right? So now, we're here kind of debating, right? And then obviously round three happens. Round three is easy to score. It's a clear Adrian Yanez round. And, it was a 10-8 in my opinion. Adrian Yanez almost got a finish. Rock Ricky Simón like 4 times in that round alone. And in my opinion, it's an easy 10-8. So after, rewatching, after all that, in my opinion, the fight is round one, Yanez. Swing around. It can go either way. Round two, Yanez, just because of the damage that he landed. Yes, he did get held down, but if you're not really doing anything, if you're not landing ground and pound or looking for submissions, what are you doing? Just killing the clock? Know what I mean? So, Yanez, round two, and then clear round three, Yanez. So I had a 3-0 for Yanez. I could see a 29-28. Like I said, round one's kind of swinger. Round two, I can see why you would score it to Simón. And at the end of the day, I know people are going to have their opinions. I can see you scoring it a draw. So the fight can be a draw, or Yanez could be the clear winner. in my opinion, Yanez was a clear winner. It should have been, at the bare minimum, a 29-28. But yeah, I mean, let's get into the scorecards. Look, these are the scorecards right here, boys. Let's see, right here. So, Sal D'Amato, a known bad judge, gave the fight a 10-9, 10-9 for Ricky Simón, and then 10-8 for Adrian Yanez in round 3, which would be a draw. And Eric Clearly, which is also a questionable judge, gave the fight a draw as well, with the same scorecard. And then Antonio Guerrero gave Ricky Simón, or it basically it's the same scorecard, but Adrian Yanez, instead of getting a 10-8, he got a 10-9. So basically all three judges had Ricky Simón winning the fight. And I can see it, man. I can see it just because, like I said, round 1's a swing round. So no problem in Ricky Simón grabbing round 1. And round 2, which I don't agree, but I can see why you would give Ricky Simón that round, just because he did hold Yanez for damn near 4 minutes. So, there's that. So I can see how they scored the fight. I don't agree with it, but I can see where they're coming from. You guys know what I mean? So, questionable fight. A lot of people called it a robbery. I think it's not a robbery. It was a very close fight. I do think that Adrian Yanez should have won that fight, but at the end of the day, it was a draw. Can't really argue with it. They're on the spot trying to score the fight, so kind of hard, especially in a really close fight like this. So can't really blame them, in my opinion. But yeah, I had Adrian Yanez winning, even though I had Ricky Simón to win the fight as a prediction. So there's that. Next up, we have Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. Now, we all had Navajo Sterling to win pretty easy, but I did say that he wasn't going to be able to get a KO. And it was looking like it, just because Bruno Lopez was kind of fighting back, and he was landing, and I remember I was watching the fight, and I was like, it would be crazy if Bruno Lopez gets the KO against Navajo, which it would have been, but at the end of the day, Navajo Sterling was able to get his first KO in the UFC. And yeah, I mean, he got it in round 2, relatively early in round 2, and yeah, I mean, good for him. He has a highlight reel now, and not against the best competition, but something, a highlight. So there's that. I mean, this fight just shows us that Navajo Sterling really isn't all that. I kind of learned that lesson the hard way a couple fights ago. But yeah, I mean, not really all that. He's an alright fighter. But yeah, we move on. Next up, we got Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez. Alright, now in this fight, I had Gabriela Fernandez. I thought that she was going to be the better striker, better wrestler, basically the better fighter all around. Just because Casey O'Neill's been out of the game, really hasn't looked like she's been improving, and those were my main reasons. And then my biggest take was I thought this fight was going to go to a decision, like any other women's fight. Man, was I wrong. Completely wrong. Casey O'Neill pulled a rabbit out of the hat. She got a round 1 KO, in nasty fashion, man. Yeah, I mean, I was godsmacked. I was shocked. Especially how she just slumped Gabriela Fernandez against the fence. That was crazy. Never expected that in a million years. If you would have told me you were on the Casey O'Neill side, I could see why. I could see why you would lean that way. But I would have never, like I said, not in a million years would I have guessed that she would have won by KO. That's crazy. But she did against a really good competition in Gabriela Fernandez. So good for her. Really good look. She was kind of crying in the octagon because, she's been out of the game for a minute. And to win in that, in that extraordinary fashion is kind of crazy. So good for Casey O'Neill. Don't really know where she goes from here just because I don't really hold her too highly. So we'll see where she goes. But really good win. And this card had a lot of finishes, surprisingly. So, it was a really good card in my opinion. But good for her to get that KO early. So, yeah. Next up, we've got Marcin Tybura versus Tyrell Fortune. Now, when I heard the scorecards for this fight, because Bruce Buffer kind of fucked up, um, declaring the winner, right? I was like, oh my god, they robbed somebody else, because this fight was a clearly Tyrell Fortune. He clearly won this fight, but Bruce Buffer said 30-27, and one of them, I think it was like 29-28, 29-28, and then 30-27. So when he said that, I was like, oh yeah, Tyrell Fortune, no doubt. And when he said Marcin Tybura, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. There's no way they gave all 3 rounds to Marcin, and they point the camera to Marcin. So okay, then that happens, right? Tyrell Fortune gets out of the octagon, pissed. You know he was pissed. And then Marcin Tybura is like, I won. Okay, good for me. I didn't win, but that's good. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. I just started laughing. I was like, there's no way. That's insane. Then Buffer tells Fortune to get back in the octagon. They get back in, and they announce the real winner, which was Tyrell Fortune. Little fuck up from Bruce Buffer. He doesn't really fuck up, but he did it tonight. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, easy dub for Tyrell Fortune. Surprisingly, when he did take down Tybura really kind of struggled to get up, man. Really didn't have anything to offer for Fortune. And Fortune was just one step ahead in this fight. Just was able to manhandle Tybura on the ground, and definitely better on the feet. So good for Tyrell Fortune to win this fight, especially making his UFC debut. Good for him. Not a lot of people win their UFC debut. So good on Tyrell Fortune. I think he moves up into the division. I forget what Marcin Tybura was, but he's definitely ranked now, I believe. So there's that. Good for him. And I think he's going to make a big splash in the heavyweight division, because he's pretty mobile for a heavyweight, And, I mean, his gas tank's kind of questionable, but, I mean, it's heavyweight. Who doesn't gas? So, yeah, good for Tyrell Fortune. Next up, we have Chase Hooper versus Lance Gibson Jr. Now, I had Chase Hooper to win this fight, and he obviously didn't. And, yeah, I mean, Lance Gibson just did what he had to do. He was able to defend the takedown. I can't blame my boy Hooper. He was really chasing for those takedowns. Now, I can't really blame my boy Hooper, He was really looking for those takedowns. But Gibson was just able to shuck him off, defend every single one, and keep the fight on the feet. And honestly, I thought that Gibson was just gonna accept maybe going to the ground or look for some takedowns of his own. But he did not want to be on the ground at all. So the fight stayed on the feet. And when I was looking at tape, when I was evaluating the fight, now I thought the fight was going to be 50, maybe 45% to either guy, on the feet. But man, was I wrong. Lance Gibson, to say it plainly, fucked up Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper did not have hands in this fight. Nasty elbows from Gibson, nasty clinch work from Gibson, and nasty knees. He just mixed up everything, all the tools on the feet, and Chase Hooper just couldn't defend it. He tried to work through it, tried to look for takedowns, single legs, double legs, and couldn't get anything, man. Couldn't get anything. Everything was just getting defended. So, yeah, I mean, easy dub for Lance Gibson. And I mean, hindsight's 2020. He did kind of give Bobby Green a little bit of a fight, so there's that. Good on Lance Gibson, though. I mean, now he's won one in the UFC. Good for him. And he looked pretty good, man, being, able to finish Chase Hooper, a relatively big name in the lightweight division. So good for him. Really didn't expect it, but I should have seen it coming, boys. I should have seen it coming. But good for him, man. Good for him. Really happy for him. And yeah, we move on. Now, the feature fight of the night. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tofik Masamayev. Now, this fight, I got the performance of the night, and definitely deserved it, man. This fight was crazy. Now, I do have a couple issues in this fight, though, and that's on the Tofik side. Just because I think both fouls came in round 2, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure. Now, the fouls that I'm talking about are when Tofik had full guard, and when he kind of like pushed Ignacio Bahamondes to the ground, and in my opinion, it was kind of clear as day, kind of did it intentionally, was he kind of headbutted Ignacio So he like had him on the fence and kind of just literally headbutted him like a ram would against another ram, just fucking head on. And like I said, it looked very intentional. It looked plain. It looked clear as day, in my opinion. Ref never caught it, never seen it. The commentary booth seen it and they called it out, but nothing happened. Now the second foul was when Ignacio Bahamondes kind of had a takedown pretty much locked in, and Tofik defended it by literally grabbing on the fence, both hands just holding onto the fence. And I was like, whoa, 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 like that's crazy. Like we've seen fence grabs before with like two fingers, maybe a hand. You know what I mean? But having both of your hands locked into the cage is insane. And for the ref not to see it, I don't know what to say, man. Speechless. I was like, that's crazy. And ref never seen it, never called it. And I think during that moment, Ignacio kind of had Masamayev. I don't remember correctly, man, but I think he had him rocked, or at least he was tired. And if he would have gotten that takedown, it would have been Ignacio would have been in a really good position. So, man, and we heard it here from Bilal Muhammad. He posted on Twitter, I think it was, maybe Instagram. But he posted saying, oh, you can headbutt and you can grab the cage clear as day and not get any fouls. You're affecting these guys' pockets and their records. And he's not lying, honestly. He is not lying. We don't know what could have happened if Bahamondes would have taken down Masamayev, would have been on top of him, full guard, full mount, maybe gotten his back. We don't know because, it's not going to happen. It never happened. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Ref should have been paying attention. But at the end of the day, not counting those fouls, this fight was very entertaining. And Tofik, as the underdog, really came through. He landed nasty elbows when he was in full guard / full mount. And he literally dominated round two. So, counting out those fouls, counting them out, which is kind of hard. But if you do count them out, this was a really good fight. At the end of the day, if those fouls never happened, Ignacio Bahamondes, call me crazy, but he kind of looked out of his element, Maybe, I don't know, maybe he had an injury or something, but he didn't really look all there. And Tofik, I mean, he's a good fighter, but I thought that Bahamondes should have been able to do what he does best, and he wasn't able to. So we'll see where he goes. Good on Tofik to come in as an underdog to get that dub, and especially when everyone's rooting against you. Kind of hard to get a dub, but good for him. Next up, we've got Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson. Man, what I say, boys? What I say? Pure cinema. Terrence McKinney, 24 second KO against Kyle Nelson. Now, what I will say is I think Kyle Nelson retired, but not sure, but I think he retired. But this fight kind of looked a little sus. I mean, just because Kyle Nelson, when Terrence McKinney head kicked him, right? Head kicked him. It wasn't really a kick. It wasn't really a head kick. The kick landed on his shoulder, and Kyle Nelson fell over and just kind of gave up, kind of pulled an Anthony Smith, just accepted it, got hit, and it was over. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Terrence McKinney got it done in less than 30. And I think Kyle Nelson retired, so there's that. Not really much to say, but like I said, not really much to talk about. Kyle Nelson basically gave up in the fight. And yeah, easy paycheck for Terrence McKinney. If I was Terrence McKinney, I wouldn't be saying anything shit. Easy money in 30 seconds, say less. So, good on Terrence McKinney. Next up. Now, the UFC website's fucking up clearly because, we move up and everything's good to go. But we got Abdul Malik versus Mansour Abdul Malik versus Yusri Bulgari. And Yusri Bulgari was able to hand Mansour Abdul Malik his first loss in his career. And it was... See, I went with Mansour, but I said if Yusri was able to defend the takedown, this fight would be a lot closer than people are making it out to seem. And my statement was true. Yusri was able to defend the takedown, and this fight was just no competition for Yusri on the feet. Mansour had nothing to offer, and Yusri knew how to use his length. He used his length to his advantage, and he was obviously going to be the better striker slash kickboxer. We know he's a kickboxer, so he pieced up Mansour. Mansour had nothing to offer. Rocked him a couple times, and yeah, I mean, just got the job done. Good for him. Mansour Abdulmalik, not really a guy that's going anywhere. Like I said in my breakdown, if you're going tooth and nail with Cody Bumdidge, you're gonna, that's kind of not a good sign. Especially when you're fighting against Yusri Balgari. Like I said in my breakdown, man, I keep, repeating this, but if Yusri was able to defend the takedowns, this would be an easy fight. My words came to become true, so Yusri was able to get the dub, hand Abdul Malik his first loss, and good for him. He was kind of giving a little promo for Alex Pereira because, Alex Pereira's moving up. Everyone was like, Shama, Shama. So, good on him. We'll see where he goes. I don't know. His gassing is kind of questionable, I don't know if he really goes far in the division, but we'll see. I've been proven wrong, so good on Yusri to get this dub, and Abdul Malik, I don't really care what happens to him, cut him, feed him someone else. I don't really care, man, to be honest. But yeah, good on Yusri. Next up, we have Julian Erosa versus this name's I think it's Lauren. I don't know. I think, but Lauren Douglas. Easy dub, man. Easy dub by Lauren Douglas. And everything was hurting Erosa, man. Everything. Lauren was just throwing jabs, straights, single, not even combos, just one, maybe two, one, maybe two, And damn, Julian Erosa was just fumbling everywhere. He fell against the cage, just stumbling, looking like a newborn deer, just deer in the headlights, just could not pull himself together. And yeah, I mean, not really much to say in this fight either. Lauren Douglas just leagues above Julian Erosa. But then again, Julian Erosa is kind of washed. So, in my opinion, it was to be expected. I don't know how Lauren wasn't a bigger favorite in this fight. Minus 200, minus 250. That was the freest money you could have ever gotten, But, yeah, I mean, I had Lauren Douglas to win. Good for him. Crazy how you can just jab someone, hit him with one jab, and just have him stumbling all over the place. So, that's crazy. But, yeah, I mean, Julian Erosa should have retired, or I hope he retired. And really, really, really good look on Lauren Douglas. He did what he had to do in this fight. And, I mean, we have a stacked featherweight division, so I'd love to see where he goes. And I'm really high on this guy. I think he should be maybe top 10. So we'll see where he goes. But, yeah, good for Lauren Douglas to get this dub. Next up, we got the hometown kid. Not really hometown, but you guys know what I mean. Michael Chiesa versus Nico Price. A lot of these main card fights were insane, man. And so was this one. Now, Michael Chiesa, heavy favorite. And to be honest, for once, he actually looked like a minus 600, minus 900. Took down Nico Price easily. Nico Price tried to roll out of it and just wasn't able to get out of it. And Nico Price Nico Price didn't protect his chin while getting up. And that's when Michael Chiesa just got an easy rear naked choke and submitted him in, I think, less than a minute. Or no, I think it was like a minute and 10 seconds. Something like that. And he was able to get a fairy tale ending. So, good for Michael Chiesa. Battle of the Unks. Nico Price, the more washed guy, said that in my breakthrough. And yeah, I mean, good for Michael Chiesa. What I will say is, like I said, both guys retired. Man, they ushered Nico Price out of the octagon. The fight was over, and they were like, shoo, run along now. And they said, oh, yeah, here, Michael Chiesa, here's a little promo. Here's a retirement promo. That's crazy. That's kind of fucked up that they just kind of shooed Nico Price out of there. They kind of did Nico Price dirty, but Michael Chiesa, I mean, not really much to say. But good for him, though. Ended his career on a dub. And, yeah, I mean, not really much to say here either. A a lot of these fights are kind of like just fights, not really breaking through into the division. So there's that. But yeah, feature fight of the night: Michael Chiesa, Nico Price. Michael Chiesa able to get the round one sub. Good for him. All right, co-main event: Alexagrasso versus Mayceebarber. Now we had Mayceebarber, and Alexagrasso got it done, man. In insane, I repeat, insane fashion, dude. I mean, Mayceebarber wanted to keep the fight on the feet, and that was a big mistake. Alexagrasso was fast with her boxing, looked good. I mean, we all know that Alexa's specialty is the boxing, and she looked fast and she looked really good out there. And Mayceebarber kind of got a little aggressive, too aggressive, and that's when Alexagrasso just pieced her up, landed specifically the left hook that dropped Mayceebarber, and then jumped on Mayceebarber's back looking for a rear naked, but the fight was over, man. After she landed that left hand, it was done, man. So, you know, finished her in spectacular fashion, to be honest. Not expected, not expected from most of these female fights. Alexa Thainara kind of shuck her off, but these other two female fights, never expected a finish, especially this one. But yeah, I mean, Alexagrasso, KO and submission win in one fight. Good for her. What I will say is that Mayceebarber is a really good actor. She should go to Hollywood because ain't no way she was actually, hurt. We've seen Bryce Mitchell shaking on the floor. That's real. But Mayceebarber just... You're not hurt, bro. Just get up. So yeah, I mean, she was just milking it. Kind of funny. I was kind of laughing, But yeah, Alexagrasso able to get the dub. She DC asked her who she wanted to fight next. She's top 3. Maybe she could fight for the belt. Maybe, who knows? But Alexagrasso didn't really care for all that. She just called out to fight at her hometown. So yeah, I mean, that's all she wanted. Good for her. Good for her to get a nasty, nasty dub against Mayceebarber. And you know what fight I love to see, man? Alexagrasso versus Ilia Topuria. That's a fight I want to see. So, yeah. Next up, we move up to the main event of the evening: Israel Adesanya versus joepyfer. I told everyone, man. Try to save you guys. I try to make you guys some money. Nobody listened. Nobody. I said joepyfer, KO, round 1, 2, or 3. Try to educate you guys, man. Try to educate you. And you guys don't want to learn. You guys want to learn the hard way. It's going to happen, man. joepyfer, round 2, KO. I called it, man. I've been calling these main events to the T. But, I'm done celebrating. I'm done kind of rubbing it in. But, yeah, I mean, to be honest, before all that, I did say that Israel Adesanya was going to be winning until he isn't. And that's exactly what happened, man. That's exactly what happened. Israel Adesanya clearly won round 1. And beat up joepyfer's legs, man. Especially that lead leg. Beat that leg up. And then coming into round 2, honestly, I thought that Israel Adesanya was going to win. Not going to lie. I thought he was going to win just because I thought that joepyfer's mobility is going to, take a big hit from all those leg kicks. And he was just going to, kind of be like very vulnerable, But, yeah, I mean, like I said, Israel Adesanya winning until he wasn't. And, yeah, joepyfer... Oh, and here's an issue. A lot of people are saying, oh, Israel Adesanya, good for him. Kind of gave us a show, was aggressive. Man, you're on a 3-fight losing streak. Go wrestle if you really need to, get a dub. I don't know why he was the aggressor. I don't know why he was being aggressive. So, who knows? What I will say, though, and what I will commend him for, is giving someone outside of the top 10 an opportunity to come into the rankings. Because a lot of fighters, duck, don't want to fight no one that's ranked. And like I said, I got to give Israel Adesanya his props. He accepted a fight against number 14 ranked joepyfer. And a lot of people wouldn't do that, man. A lot of people wouldn't do that. So, got to commend him for that. But, man, I don't know what to say, man. Joepyfer gets the dub easy, round 2 KO. And I'm proven right once again. So, I was really excited, really happy for my boy Pyfer. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I don't know what to say, man. I'm just happy that he won. Won in the won in the fashion that I said he was going to win. And yeah, I mean, good for him. Now what I will say though is that Joepyfer, don't really think he's gonna win, or don't really think he's gonna beat anyone in the top 5 in the middleweight division. His gas tank's 100% questionable. He was gassed in, he was already gassing in round 2, and he can defend a take, and he can defend those leg kicks. We've seen that obviously in this fight, just getting his lead leg chopped up. So we'll see how far Joepyfer goes. I mean, if he's able to get one more good win under his belt, I mean, he's basically like maybe 5 to 7 around that. So if he's able to get 1, maybe 2 good, really, really good wins, we could see him fighting for a belt. Highly doubt it. But that's the position that Joepyfer's in for getting this big dub. So good for him. We'll see where he goes. And Israel Adesanya, I think he's like in a 4-fight losing streak now. Insane, man. Fall from grace. What are you gonna say, man? That guy should have retired a while ago. He said he wants to keep fighting. Hey, more power to you, bro. More power to you. But I mean, he's just regressing. Every day that passes, he's regressing. He's getting older. And it's not to the benefit of him. It's to the benefit of his other opponents. So we'll see how far Israel Adesanya decides to go. Maybe I'll give him a year until he retires, but we'll see. And yeah, I mean, Joepyfer wins KO round 2. So good for him. Happy for him. We'll see where he goes into the division. I don't think he goes far, but we'll see. So that was my full reaction to the full fight card for UFC Fight Night Seattle. Israel Adesanya versus Joepyfer. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. And yeah, until next time. Let's go, Joepyfer!